Hi guys, welcome back to August Love Story, the channel. Today we are reviewing Married at First Sight, season 12, episode 12, and it's titled Must Love Dogs. If you haven't already, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell. And I guess we can start this review.
Cool beans.
All right. So because we don't really have a lot to say about them this week, we can happily start with Chris and Paige. So Paige talked to her brother and her sister-in-law. During the conversation, it seemed like her sister-in-law was very animated. And her brother was just like, why are you acting like she ain't already told us this before? Nobody is surprised by what's going on. So at least it means that she's been in constant communication with her family. And what I'm hoping is that her family has just been like, we're not going to film any scenes with Chris because what's the point?
Yeah.
We'll do this one scene so Paige don't have to do them all with the cast and we can move on from there. We did see Chris sit down and talk to his mom.
She didn't seem surprised by what he was saying. Like, she gave the initial what, but it seemed like very Chris like.
No, she definitely agreed because he was like, I don't do things that I don't want to do. She was like, yeah, I know. Not to say that you can't be different from how your parents, quote unquote, raised you.
Yeah.
But Chris has obviously always been this way. And, everybody in his family sees that this is normal Chris behavior, whether they agree or disagree. I wish I could find his mom's Twitter page to see what she said about her own appearance tonight. Yeah. Because she be going in on people on Twitter. Like, she's one of the reasons that I wish I still was active on Twitter so that I could keep up with this, but I don't care enough to keep up with it. So yeah, basically he told his mom that he asked for a divorce. She pretended to be shocked. And then she was basically like, you know what's best for your baby. And that was it.
Yeah.
So thankful that that's all we have to say about them. There was no Chris and Paige interaction and I was cool with that.
I thought this episode was like better because it like the interactions that we had with Chris and Paige were a relief for me, just because it was more so Paige sitting with the girls. Because Chris, the only time Chris was featured in this episode was when he sat down and talked to his mom.
And that leads me back to thinking about, like, I've posted about how Paige is there so she won't get fined. Someone posted on one of these Married at First Sight pages a copy of the contract. And I'm sure that this contract has evolved so much since then. But they were basically saying that you get fined $50,000 if you don't finish. Chris is dumb, but he ain't no dummy.
Right.
He's going to finish because he knows that this production company and Lifetime are going to be on his head if he doesn't do what he's supposed to do as far as his contractual obligations. Yeah. So gotta stay married.
I mean, that wouldn't be the hard part.
What, being married?
Being like doing my contractual duties, but it, like I was saying, it was such a relief. You got to see Paige interact with the girls, and when she was sitting down talking to them, she came up with the conclusion that what she learned was to choose herself.
Thank God for Jesus.
Right. And it's like, you want to say, duh. Throughout this whole thing, she talked with them about how she felt when she thought about what has went down. She was like how she lost herself in the marriage, the idea of marriage, and not like truly trying to figure out, if this the person that she was going to be with. I'm glad that that chapter is over and they can move forward with their life. The girls were very supportive of Paige as well, man, saying that she would find somebody and, this is helping her for the next person. That's the same thing her brother said too.
Yeah, and I don't think that Paige is not going to find someone. I hope that the person that she finds doesn't watch Married at First Sight, because I feel like they might try to use this as manipulation. because they see the type of person that she is and what she will stand for.
Well, hopefully she's grown from this situation and can move forward and be more assertive of the things that she wants in a relationship with a person. So,
yeah, it's what it is. All right, next I have Haley and Jacob. Thank God for no arguments with them.
Haley and Jacob.
So, well, I won't say that there wasn't an argument. There wasn't a blow up.
Yeah, it wasn't a blow up. What did they argue about?
I don't remember. That's why I say I can't say if it was or wasn't, but I know that there wasn't a blow up. So they talked about the day before, which was their month anniversary.
Right.
He said that he apologized. We didn't actually see him apologize, but he said it in his confessional. So they decided to go to K1 to go and ride go-karts.
Right.
Haley made this like super competitive, and Jake seemed like he didn't care.
Yeah, Jake was mad that he lost.
Was he?
He seemed disturbed that he was lost.
I didn't get that he was upset that he lost. What I got from it was him basically pulling a Haley. I tried. Like, I came here because she suggested that we go do something fun. And this was something that he also mentioned in the Unfiltered episode, was that he felt like he was trying to do things to progress their relationship. And Haley would keep saying, I want to keep it light. But then she would turn back around and say, I'm the only one trying. Which one is it? Is it I want to keep it light, or do I want to try to have a relationship with you? So she's sending mixed signals with that information anyways. And I never thought about the fact that she said both of those things until he said it. But obviously he's experienced it. So it's different for him. But he literally was just there like, she wants to go go-karting. I'll ride a go-kart. Production's going to pay for it. I'm here. I literally have to buy out my 8 weeks. I'm at the halfway point. I might as well do something halfway enjoyable to say I did it for the next 4 weeks. So I felt like last week he checked out of the relationship, and I still feel like he's checked out of it. And well,
I'm gonna give them hope, man. I feel like both of them are still checked into the relationship. It's just me. A lot of people are probably going to disagree with me.
It's okay.
But I think they're both still checked in because ultimately they want to be married.
Just not to each other.
Whatever. But no, I think they're headed in the right direction. I think what Haley meant was she don't want to argue like all the time. She didn't say that, I know. But that's what I inferred from what she was saying, keeping it light. Like, I don't want to have an argument with you every time we have a conversation. And she actually brought that up when they were talking about the previous day, about the month anniversary. She brought up the fact that they're always arguing about something. And
yeah, I get that. Like, they do have a lot of arguments. And I can't say that it's one person picking the fight versus the other person. I feel like Jake has piss poor timing with saying how he feels about the situation. But I also feel like she turns on her damsel in distress tears.
Oh, for sure.
And that's annoying. And I wouldn't want to talk to her about anything. So like, it would turn into blow-ups with me. If every time I said something to you, you didn't like, you started crying. And I mean, I'm guilty. I'm a crier. Like, I get pissed off and I cry. But I try not to cry to you.
Yeah, there's no crying in baseball.
But if every time we had a disagreement, you started crying with me, like, I'm going to get furious and I'm probably going to start yelling. Because what are you crying for? Yeah. Because a lot of the stuff that she cries about is not cry worthy.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I ain't with the crying stuff, but I definitely feel like Jacob comes on too strong in the conversations. And then those lead to arguments because he's like taking the gloves off and just going to go straight in. But this episode, they did not argue. So we're not going to talk about them arguing.
Well, I was about to say, that's one of the things that his friend said, though, about him. He doesn't take subtle hints. So he needs you to come with the gut punch. Yeah. It's not like, oh, you might like me. Oh, you don't. Do you find me attractive? Yes or no?
Right.
He doesn't understand I don't want you to touch me. No, tell me exactly what you think so that there's no room left for me to think otherwise. So, I mean, he's black and white in that regard.
Right.
Next thing I wrote was they met up with Bree and Vincent to go pick sunflowers. Mm-hmm. And Bree has taken on the role of Amani.
Right.
I'm gonna gather the troops and we're gonna have a talk. Jake, come walk with me. And essentially Brianna just realized what Haley has said to her to be true. Maybe not everything that Haley has said to be true, but they don't get each other. Right. And a lot of it is his humor. Mm-hmm. But I think Haley's not trying to get his humor. She's just like, I don't get it. I don't want to get it. And she's just not going to. And Vincent was just like, all right, so we got to be here. What's up with you?
I think with the humor part, I think both of them realized that. Jacob and Haley definitely realized like the humor's off and his humor is off. So that comes with talking with each other. It comes with understanding and having conversations with each other. Jake halfway checking out, Haley halfway checking out doesn't help, but where they are as far as like trying to get to know each other, like restarting again, you know, essentially.
I'm tired of them restarting. Like at this point, let's just pretend like we like each other for 3 more weeks.
Like you don't have to pretend. Just, you know, just be regular people. Be yourself.
She doesn't know how to be a regular person. Remember, she's the same person that said she couldn't hug him. But she could hug a stranger. I don't
understand that at all.
Like, she can't be a regular person.
I love hugs.
You do. She doesn't know how to be a regular person in that regard. So that's going to be difficult for her. And not to say that he knows how to be a regular person, but they can't be regular people together. They have to choose a side. Either we're just going to get through this or we're going to argue through it. Mm-hmm. And we have to figure out what getting through it looks like. Yeah. But they're not going to be together after this.
Nah, I don't think so either.
All right. So next up was Brianna and Vincent. They talked about their 1-month date. And then Vincent went down this long list of things that he wanted Brianna to take him to do.
I like that list. I was like, that was a solid list, man. A lot of the stuff I haven't personally done.
We checked out like, one thing.
What?
Disney.
Yeah, we did.
I had never been, and
we definitely
you took me.
Yep.
Yeah. So it was just a list of things. It was pretty nice to see them laugh and joke, but once we got over Champagne Denny and his I want to look suave, everything with them seems to be like rolling pretty fast. Apparently there's a hiccup next week, but we ain't gonna get to that yet. So they decided to go bike riding on Brianna's new bike because they're gonna get into fitness together.
Right.
And they went riding, and apparently he let her win. The stakes were 20 push-ups versus cleaning the kitchen for the week.
That wasn't an even bet.
It wouldn't. I was like, why wouldn't you do the same? Like, that would be something that we would have done.
Yeah.
It would be like, you clean the kitchen for a week if I win, I clean the kitchen for a week if you win. Like, that would have been a bet.
And that would have been a competition because
neither one of us wants to clean up the kitchen. No, I mean, that really would have been a competition, but like getting to see Brianna do 20 push-ups.
Like pushing her over and some more stuff to win.
You're terrible.
I'm awful, man. I did notice they weren't wearing their helmets, man. So if anybody was like, I want to go ride a bike, buy a helmet and wear it, please.
Yeah, he bought me a helmet. I don't think I've worn it but once.
I think you only rode your bike once.
I've ridden my bike more than once. We're going to start bike riding
It's been a handful.
Anyway. Oh, we can't because we don't have an attachment for the kid.
Yeah. But no, like you said, man, I think Bree and Vincent are progressing well. It's not a lot to say as far as like talking about them, as far as like, you know, what's going on, what's different. But, you know, now you're starting to see them step up as the couple to help the other couples, especially Brianna. She gives a lot of advice to the other girls, and you know, she, like, I don't know if they came over her house or if whose house they was over her house. So Paige and Virginia came over to Brianna's house and talked with Brianna, and Brianna gave out some good advice. But one thing that stuck out to me that she said about Vincent was Vincent is not who she picked, I want to say she said, but
he's not who she would have picked, but he's who she needed. Needs.
And she described all these different adjectives or adverbs that he actually does for her. And I thought that was nice. That was a nice way to think of your spouse. That was a good way to think of yourself as far as like what you're needing in a partner.
Right.
So that just shows you the maturity and the level that they're on, you know. So you know, I only have good things to say about them. So yeah.
It was cute. I don't have anything else for him.
All right.
Next up, Clara and Ryan. So they did, okay, the instructor kept calling it Tantra yoga and Ryan kept calling it Tantric yoga. I think it's Tantric. I'm not about to look it up. I just needed to note that out loud. I noticed when they were doing yoga, and I wrote this down because I mentioned it to Tommy out loud. He was so uncomfortable because I can just imagine if I had climbed onto Tommy like Clara did Ryan in the very first pose, he would have immediately grabbed my butt. Like, it wouldn't have been a question of it. Like, it's in you to do that. And that's most guys. It's like if your wife, girlfriend, significant other, whatever it is, if you're doing tantric yoga with a person, y'all doing something. Yeah. Like, it's some type of something other than just we cool. Other than we cool. And like they would have grabbed the butt or at least like hands on the waist or something. He was just kind of like this, like, I'm not gonna touch you. I don't want to touch you. Yeah. And it was really weird to me to see that. Nothing else about that. After they finished yoga, they were having a conversation and he told her that he wants to become a better dog dad with Miska. So he wants to take her to some type of training.
Like the one thing I noticed about Ryan in this whole, like in this episode, and it kind of like, you know, goes along with his behavior and his approach to this. He's Xing out sex to truly get to know this person.
I would have never thought to go become a dog parent to like my spouse, like go through training.
No, I wouldn't.
Like if you had a dog, I would make an effort to get along with the dog. Yeah. Because it would then become our dog. But training, you want me to go drop off?
Right. Like he's hitting all the marks for her. You know what I'm saying? As far as like being her person.
He's like, I'm a dog stepdaddy. I'm about to be a stepdaddy for real. Right. Let me do the stepdaddy thing.
Let me go figure out how to do this better.
And I'm sure that was encouraged by production because this episode played heavily on the dogs.
Yeah. I think Clara was upset. Like Clara's just sexually frustrated. And this is like week 5 or something like that. Like it doesn't make sense to me, but okay. She doesn't think the yoga helped. Like move him across the board, like closer to it. And he doesn't think it did anything because he was like, man, I was trying to focus on the yoga, you know?
Not yo booty.
Right, exactly. But Ryan is definitely focused on the I want to get to know you part.
Which isn't a negative thing, but he's not giving her anything to grasp as far as what she'll get to next. I do know that if they stayed together post decision day, he's probably pissed off about the conversation that she had in the final scene with the girls. Like, I could only imagine that is a very much so we're gonna have a sit down conversation for sure.
Right, for sure.
I didn't have anything else for them outside of that.
Ryan talked with the guys, and
I did not write anything down.
I didn't either, but I remember this part. He gave Jacob some sound advice.
He did,
and Jacob was like, "Nah, I'm not taking that."
He gave Eric some sound advice too.
Yeah,
like he was really, him and Vincent were like, "Yeah, we got this figured out." Like maybe not the marriage side of it, but communication.
Right. We here.
I can do that.
But I don't think neither one of them picked up on what he was putting down. So it's kind of like going in one ear out the other. I did want to talk about the last scene that Clara was in when she was talking about like he's not giving it up. And like if the roles were reversed, everybody
would be like, give her time.
Right.
Like she needs time. Like you don't need to rush into sex. And I mean, I'm giving Ryan that same consideration at this point. Maybe I wouldn't last week or 2 weeks ago, but like I had to like sit back and think about it for a minute and be like, okay, it's been a month. Most people are not having sex in a month with a person that they've never met before. We're also not moving in with people that we've not ever met. But Ryan is very calculated, but I think he's going to have to, I'm not saying he has to give on being calculated, but he needs to give her something to go on.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, what is your trustometer?
I don't even think it's about his trustometer. I think she needs to put her foot. The frustration comes in, I believe, from her actually giving and not receiving. That's the frustration.
She needs to stop. What's Lisa Ray say? Stop servicing him.
Right. That's all you gotta do is stop. If you stop, then you can focus on something else.
Yeah.
You won't be as sexually frustrated, or you won't be alone.
Yeah, because she's working herself up in the hot and bothered realm.
Right.
And then she's left with nothing because she's like, I pulled this trick out. I pulled that trick out. I did this. This works for everybody. None of it's working.
None of it's working for him.
And I mean, it's just really like, stop.
That's a simple answer. Just stop. Like if he's asking for it, that is a problem because he's got to give something to get something. But she's also, again, she has to stop. Like that is the consensus of this conversation, is she has to stop because she's working herself up and being let down. And that's the thing that I was saying Sunday, I believe. With Clara needs to focus more on, she needs to get on the same page as Ryan, because her focus has been throughout this whole thing. Even like right after they got back from their honeymoon, I'm sexually frustrated. I'm doing this for him, but I'm not getting anything in return. And you're not even focusing, is he gonna say he loves me? You're not focusing on, do you like him? Do you love him? Are you know?
Do I want to be with you?
Do you want to be with him?
Are you gonna call me like you said you would?
Like all this stuff, man, that you're not focusing on because you're too busy trying to get some from him. When the man said he didn't want to do that.
Right.
Until he trusts you, until he feels like this is something that he wants to be a part of, basically.
Just stop the service. That's it.
That'll solve a bunch of your problems.
At least two.
You know, it will solve some problems and it will allow you to focus on something else. Because if you can't wait 8 weeks without getting any, oh man. That's pretty bad. The best thing I can tell you is, they have toys and all this other stuff, man. Go buy you a toy. Go buy you a new toy, man. It might work for you.
I think that, like, I compare this because this is the only couple that we really had to compare it to, is like the Miles and Karen situation, where I don't think Ryan is going to leave like Karen did. But I think that Claire needs to just, I don't want to say circle a date on the calendar and we got to do it by this date or we're done. Like, we ain't finna air this situation.
Yeah.
But definitely, like, have a conversation where you let the person know, hey, if XYZ doesn't happen by date ABC, then what are we doing here?
Yeah.
And it's gonna have to be a conversation, and it can't just be you're not having sex with me. It needs to be okay, so do you think you're gonna be ready by December?
Yeah.
January? Because we about to roll into a new year, bro. Like, what are we doing?
Like, she said something that I always think about. She was like, I'm committing to you, so I'm committing to, just you. Mm-hmm. And that is so huge. Mm-hmm. Just because, like, that's the truth. She's committing to a person to only be with this person for the rest of her life. For the foreseeable future. And to make that commitment, that's a big commitment. And I would say she needs to stop, one thing. But I would say to be committed to a person, you have to meet them halfway when it comes to frustrations and especially sexually frustrations, because that's your wife and that's, your spouse or whatnot. You guys should be having sex with each other. That's that's the one thing in marriages I believe should happen is that you have sex with each other. So,
right.
Yeah.
All right. So, anything else for them?
No, that's it.
All right. So, last up, Virginia and Eric.
First off, I want to say Virginia went to UT.
So, if y'all don't know,
balls.
Tommy and I met at the University of Tennessee and
at Knoxville.
Yeah. The
real UT.
I don't say the comma city because there is no need. No,
I got you.
Tennessee.edu goes to the University of Tennessee.
I got you.
But Virginia, we noticed a lot of things. Like, first we saw that she had on a t-shirt with the Tennessee flag, and then we saw Knoxville on the back, and then we saw her dog in a Tennessee Vols jersey, and I'm like, wait, Virginia
it was an orange jersey.
It was an orange jersey, but it definitely was obviously a Tennessee jersey. So I was
like,
And she had on a Tennessee necklace. So we have resolved that she is a volunteer. It's Rocky.
And it has taken us this long to tie Rocky to Rocky Top.
Because nothing else about her said Tennessee outside of that. Yeah. But whatever. So we all went to the same college, obviously totally different times, because Virginia is a whole decade younger than us.
Is it?
She's 24?
Yeah. No, she's older than that. She's like 26. We definitely didn't go to college together, but she definitely went to our
she was there when our school. When that girl called me old, because I was like, we met here 15 years ago.
She was definitely there.
She was matriculating at that point.
Right.
Okay. So they talked about their month date, and Eric compared them to their dogs, basically saying that Virginia was erratic like Rocky, and Eric was calm like Tex, and Eric is not calm, but whatever.
Yeah.
He did offer to end the relationship because the dogs are different, and I was just like, Eric, stop. But then Virginia redeemed herself with me in life. I ain't gonna say I never say a bad thing about Virginia, but she gave it to him for a moment. She got up and left after that conversation. She went outside and talked to the producers. We found out that they had a fight the night before, after their month anniversary, they had a fight. They went to a bar. Apparently she disappeared for 30 to 40 minutes. And I say that because he changed his tune every time he talked to her and adjusted the time. I'm wondering, did she really disappear for 40 minutes, or was he just drunk and has no concept of time when drinking because he doesn't drink?
I don't know. That it seemed weird because first off, she wouldn't, I can't see a person, you going to a bar with a person and then this person disappearing for 30 to 40 minutes and you don't call or text this person?
Right. Because she definitely said that. She was like, I don't have any missed calls or text messages from you. If I was gone so long, where are they?
Right. Or if you were super concerned about that. Also, if the person went to the bathroom, you go to the bathroom, you coming right back.
Unless you're sick. And
if you're sick, we're leaving. You know.
Maybe not Virginia.
I don't know. But it just seemed
normal drinking people.
Right. It just seemed super weird, that whole conversation. And it shows, like, more and more you see how controlling this man is trying to be with this girl. Mm-hmm. And you can see that she's struggling with something. And a trigger is talking about her dog.
Right.
And I think that's where Eric was going wrong in the whole conversation. Mm-hmm. Was he kept bringing up the dog. The dog is this, the dog is that.
Well, he's already tried to, when they got back from their honeymoon, he's tried to get rid of her cat.
Yeah.
Because remember, he was like, the cat's not coming with us. And she was like, no, it's my cat. It's coming with us. And now he's trying to, like, basically beat the dog into submission. Not say he's physically trying to beat the dog, but he's trying to beat the dog into submission by saying that this dog is acting erratically, which if you compare the dog's behavior to my behavior and you're calling the dog erratic, why do you want to be with me? Right. Because it says that you think I'm erratic.
Right. Because he's trying to fix her too.
If you use that logic. So in that conversation, she had a breakdown where she said she feel like she's doing all the changing and she's failing at all of her relationships. She mentioned that she hasn't been talking to her sister like she wants to, which is probably because of him. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I get it. When you first move in with a person, you don't realize how much of your personal time gets taken up by that other person. Mm-hmm. Like, it's definitely an adjustment period. They're only 3 weeks because the first week was a honeymoon. Yeah. They're only 3 weeks into this adjustment period. So it gets to be really, really difficult to, like, gain your footing on what's normal, what's not. Because you have a whole new normal. Right. And then they have not just the traditional, we're moving in together, personal time is different. We got a camera crew in here filming 12 hours a day.
Right.
That just messes everything up.
Right.
So I completely get it. Like, and then she says she has anxiety issues. So if you add those natural progression issues, plus a camera crew, plus, him just being a jerk. Yeah. Like, you just don't want to deal with it. But where I said Virginia redeemed herself was they were having a little bit of an argument and she got worked up and was like getting up and he started to say something to her and she said, I swear to God, if you say you're gonna leave, I'm gonna punch you in the face. I was like, Virginia went to UT. Not to say that that's something that would just happen, but it was just like she was not taking his mess in that moment. And he shut up.
He knew. He
knew she was serious about that. She was like, I don't care about these cameras. I will hit you. And so after they got through that, they had a calm down, rational conversation without yelling, and then he started back up about the dogs again, and that just sent her over the edge. Like,
she said something that made, like, basically is what I was thinking too, was he makes a difference between the dogs. Mm-hmm. Tex is perfect, and then Rocky is just crazy.
And then we also found out from this conversation with the guys, Rocky is a puppy.
Yeah,
Rocky is only a year old. We have to look at this like Rocky is a child.
Yeah.
A child is like a small child is always going to have a lot more erratic behavior than an older child. Right. So you look at a puppy in those same terms. Yes, this dog is trying to figure it out. He's like, the dog's biting everybody. The dog is probably teething.
That's possible.
It's just like, what do you want this dog to do?
Like, he makes it seem like she admitted when they were talking in one of the conversations that they were having, yeah, baby, she could have did a better job at training them. Right. But she got them, trained enough. I think Eric has good intentions on what he's saying about the dog. I just think he's approaching it wrong, because he's approaching it in a sense of my dog is perfect and your dog is not. And that ain't something she want to hear. Just because it's like, this dog is her baby. This dog has gotten her through her depression, has helped her go through life. And for you to come up here and talk about her dog or the things that her dog won't do, it's like, we got a problem.
Right.
So...
And then he's just like, a way to like have eased that conversation a little bit better could have been him saying, I'm going to get a trainer and we're going to take both dogs to figure out how we can make this cohabitation of the dogs easier, because we can train them to do things together. But just saying your dog needs to be fixed, that's an insult to her. Yeah. Because it's like, it's been working for me. Why is it not working for you?
Yeah, like he's taking jabs at her dog, but his dog is perfect. And that's the issue. Again, Eric is done, and he said, like, I don't know what
he didn't say it to her face though.
Nah, he didn't. I'm done.
He said that in a confessional.
I'm done.
But he didn't say it to her face. So the only other thing that I wrote down was that Eric sat down and talked to all the guys about the dog situation, and everybody kind of made their concessions. And it was good to hear Jake being the dog guy, because he has 3 dogs.
Their dogs and
he was just like, look, I take my dogs back home and I work from my house so that they can be comfortable in their environment. Like, her dog's not getting a break from this new environment to go back to something that he knows. So you have to do something with that. And, Eric gave the advice of, I'm doing training with the dog. Maybe you should consider that. Benson was like, Cookie crazy, but, she cool. And it's just like, we have to look at dogs. I don't want to say like people, because it's not like humans, because humans can at least verbally communicate what they are feeling. But I guess if you look at it like a small child, a baby can't tell you what they're feeling, and this dog cannot tell you what they're feeling. And maybe this dog just don't like you.
Maybe.
It is what it is. But I think that I'm happy that Virginia did stand her ground in this conversation. I think that Eric is going to have to give something on the pet situation, because
Eric needs to give on the relationship a little bit more.
That too.
Like, it bothers me, and we started to talk about it a little bit. This girl is going through something. She has anxiety. She, she needs to talk to a therapist. I don't know if she is or not.
She said she was going to, remember when she was with Brianna and Paige.
He needs to learn how to deal with that. And how to help her, and what would help her. Like,
she's going to need therapy for herself. He needs therapy for himself, because he is Mr. Everything in my life is perfect. I'm never the problem. My girlfriends have all cheated on me. I didn't do anything wrong, and I'm great, and I know marriage, and I know this, and I know that, and that's just not how it is.
No, and that's the thing that bothers me the most, is that he's Mr. Know-it-all, and it's like, every relationship is different. Every person is different. You can take things from your past relationships that you didn't like or that you did like and bring them into your new relationships, and you use it that way. But the new relationship that you're in, you're not the expert in it, because you've never been in this relationship.
Right.
And even if if y'all was just backtracking, went back with somebody, both of you guys are experts, so you know what you want, know what you don't want, and you guys got to figure out a way to actually coexist and co-work together like a regular relationship. So, because
it is a regular relationship
right.
At this point, it's just on TV.
Eric's gonna talk himself out of this.
He's gonna undone himself.
Right. That's what I mean.
And Virginia is like, I'm young. She's probably like, I'm young, I'm hot. Somebody's gonna want me. Right. I can hear those words coming out of her mouth.
Oh, that's too funny, man. But my advice to Virginia is to make your decisions slow. Like, really think about what you committing to. So,
yeah. You got anything else?
No, that's it.
All right, guys, comment down below. Let us know what you guys think. Virginia and Eric are the hot topic. Let us know what you guys think about like their relationship. Virginia's side, Eric's side. I guess after today, I'm back.
Rocky side.
I'm on Rocky side. That's whose side I'm on. I'm on Lil Rocky side. Lil Password, as I call it. I'm on Lil Password side. Let us know what you guys think about that. I don't really have a question about Vincent and Brianna. What can Ryan do to help Clara feel more, I don't want to say confident.
Like, because that's the thing too, man. Like, who would say no?
To what?
To like whatever she's doing sexually to him. And she's not, like, that's the thing. She's not requiring anything on the back end, but just complaining to everybody that she's sexually frustrated.
Girl, stop.
Yeah.
Just stop.
Do you think she needs to stop?
Who else do we have? Thank God. I don't really care if y'all have anything to say about Chris and Paige. Paige maybe specifically, but nothing about the two of them together.
Yeah.
But on the note of them, if y'all know Chris's mama's Twitter page, send it to me. Like, put it in the comments because I don't remember it and I want to see what she had to say about herself on this week's episode. And Haley and Jacob. You think Jacob's just buying his time so he doesn't get fined, or do you think that Jacob is really like trying to make these next 4 weeks better than the last 4 weeks?
I don't know.
It's actually 3 at this point because it's 21 days.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
That's it. All right, guys, please subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. And we will see you guys on Sunday on Little Black Book 91's channel for our Married at First Sight coalition.
Yep.
And
Ready to Love comes this week. So
Ready to Love starts Friday. If it's just a casting special, I'm gonna be honest, we're probably not gonna have a video for that. But when they actually start the actual show, we'll be back for that.
Yeah. Like this video, hit the notification bell after you subscribe, so you know when we drop something. The podcast is coming too.
Yeah, we took a pause for the cause. We have to get our lives together on that. Just bear with us.
Yeah.
Be patient. Pray with us. Bear with us. Pray with us. All right, y'all. Bye.
Peace.